Hello my dearest friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. I'm doing a trope recommendation video today for a specific trope that I think in most videos is called Lessons in Seduction. But I'm going to call mine Teach Me Your Ways because not all of the books feature the Lessons in Seductions lessons, but more so lessons with dating and lessons with how to get back into being more confident, maybe in the bedroom, but also with dating specifically. So basically my video is called Teach Me Your Ways, but it is kind of also lessons in seduction as well. And I've got, I think, 8 or 9 books for you where one of them is something completely different, but I'm going to explain why I'm including it in this video. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive in with the first book that I read a month or two ago that really made an impression on me. I really enjoyed this book. It's Daydream by Hannah Grace. It's part of her hockey series where the first book was really popular, Icebreaker. And then the second book was Wildfire, and then this one is called Daydream. This one features our hero Henry, who is this very popular hockey player who has kind of taken over the captain role from the hero from book 1. And while he's getting into that role, he does need some help with his academic career. So he enlists the help of our heroine, Hallie or Haley, I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. And our heroine is someone who just recently got out of a very toxic kind of a relationship with someone whom she considered at that time her best friend. And she has some confidence issues, some issues with her self-image because of the relationship that she was in. So she enlists the hero's help with getting back into feeling more like herself when it comes to dating, because she is completely out of it. She feels very insecure about getting back into dating, so she feels like it's more comfortable for her to go on dates with someone who is not going to pressure her into being someone who she does not feel she is at that moment. So this is where the Teach Me Your Ways comes in. So she teaches him some things when it comes to his academic career and also some things about himself in general, because he is undiagnosed on the spectrum, I think. And then she herself is getting some lessons in how to feel more comfortable when going out on dates. So I really enjoyed this one. If you enjoy this kind of a story, I think you will enjoy this one because the hero is so swoon worthy, he's to die for. And then the heroine is someone who is very relatable, because when you're in your kind of young adult or college years, she's in college, so when you're in your new adult era, you can sometimes feel like you don't know yourself at that time, or you don't feel yet comfortable in your skin, and you want to have someone by your side who is giving you the confidence to see yourself through someone else's eyes. And this is exactly the kind of story that this is, so I really highly enjoy it and I would recommend it. The next book follows a similar pattern because we have another hockey playing hero, and we've got a heroine who is actually his best friend's ex-girlfriend. She also is best friends with him, so they were a couple, the heroine and this other guy, and they were best friends with our hero. But at some point, after very many years, I think 8 years or so, the heroine decided to call it quits with her ex-boyfriend because she didn't feel valued. She had confidence issues because of him, and she just was not seeing herself continuing in that relationship. And she asked our hero for help, whether she can come live with him while she figures out her things, how she's going to continue, because she really was defined almost by this long relationship that she had. And he obviously agreed because he actually has always had feelings for her, obviously. And the thing is, there is kind of this forbiddenness about this whole situation because obviously the ex-boyfriend is someone who is friends with the hero. And at the same time, he feels like he's not really enough for her. He feels like everyone is stapling this kind of a playboy image about him, and she's someone who is wanting to have a serious relationship. But at the same time, she just got out of a long relationship, so she's like, I want to play around. So I want someone to teach me to be a player. And she asked the hero to help her go on dates to become a player, so he's supposed to be her wingman. Now obviously this is a torture for him because he's supposed to help her out date other people, but at the same time it's a chance for him to really give her the confidence boost that he knows that she deserves, that she really needs. So this is the teach me your ways portion of this book, where he's supposed to teach her some moves when it comes to dating, but at the same time they obviously both develop feelings because of the dates they go on as practice dates. So I really enjoyed this one, and again, I would definitely recommend this one. Now the next one I read a while ago, but I think it's definitely a book that you need to pick up if you love this trope. It's The Lady Gets Lucky by Joanna Shupe. It's a historical romance where we've got a heroine who is kind of shy and kind of not really ready on her own to get swept away by someone in society, and she decides that she really needs someone's help to teach her how to be the best version of herself in front of the male audience so that she can attract someone's attention, because she's been looking at all these ladies out in and about in society, and she's been wondering what she should be doing to gather the attention of the man that she is interested in. So she decides to enlist the help of our hero Kit, who is this rake, this playboy persona, and he's someone who is supposed to be opening a new business, a supper club, and he needs someone who comes up with these amazing new recipes to kind of attract a very new crowd to the place that he's going to be opening, and he enlists the help of the heroine with that, so they mutually benefit from the arrangement. She helps him with the restaurant, he helps her with lessons in seduction, lessons in coming out into the society and really gathering male attention to her. So this one is the classic example for the lessons in seduction kind of a trope, and I really enjoyed this one. The next one I think is also a popular book, but I think that not a lot of people are talking about it when it comes to this trope specifically. The book is called Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. It's the second book within a series, and you can read it as a standalone though. We've got a heroine who lives in this small town. She is someone who is very much looking to be in a committed relationship. She has been dreaming to find her one true love, and she has not been having any luck with finding someone to fit her description of whomever she wants to end up with. And here comes the hero, who is the bodyguard of the heroine from book one, who is like the celebrity. He's there for kind of a short period of time to do this bodyguarding job, and he decides that he's going to help out the heroine with kind of trying to figure out how she's going to end up with someone in a committed relationship. He is a playboy, she is the kind of romantic person who believes in true love while he isn't that, so there's very much an opposites attract situation when it comes to that. But we definitely sense that the hero, he doesn't even know why he's helping her, he just feels this pull towards her. So we definitely see that the hero is kind of subconsciously falling for the heroine already from the start of the book. So it's quite cute, and I would definitely recommend it when it comes to this trope. The next book is a bit different. It's called Ghosted by Sarah Reddy. This one features a heroine who moves into this apartment that is haunted by a ghost, and the hero is the ghost. And we've got a heroine who is quite nervous and a bit uptight, while the hero is shirtless. And he's a ghost, so he never wears a shirt because he's always dressed the same way, so he's kind of flustering the heroine the whole time. And the thing about the lessons in kind of seduction, not really seduction, but in dating in this situation, comes in because the heroine, like I mentioned, is a bit uptight and a bit nervous and a bit flustered. So when she meets men, she gets tongue-tied, she doesn't know how to communicate with men, and the hero helps her out with trying to communicate better and trying to get into dating in general, while she helps him figure out what exactly has happened with him and how can he move on to whatever different dimension he needs to go to, because he is stuck in this apartment. So essentially we've got a mutual beneficial relationship between the two of them, and at the same time this lessons in, let's say, seduction and dating when it comes to the heroine. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and I would also recommend it. Now the next one I've included in this list because it does have the teach me your ways situation going on, but not really in relation to the bedroom or dating, but more so in relation to the hero not being from this century. The book is called My Roommate is a Vampire. This one features a heroine who is down on her luck when it comes to her living arrangement. She needs to find a new place to live. And she finds this ad, I think on Craigslist, which is like too good to be true. And she responds to it. She goes to this place and it's exactly as it's been described, really, really too good to be true and really with a low price tag on it. So she's like, yo, what's the catch here? Well, what's the catch? The guy who lives there is a vampire. Now, obviously she doesn't know that, but he essentially convinces her to sign the lease. They become roommates, and slowly but surely, we're starting to find out that the guy, so the vampire, he is quite stuffy and kind of old-fashioned, and we don't know what exactly has happened, but throughout the story we're finding out that he needs help from the heroine when it comes to the modern times. He needs to figure out how to fit into the modern setting of society. So this is where the teach me your way situation comes into the book, and I really found that a fun aspect to this book. I really, really enjoyed this one and I would recommend it. The next one is by the author duo Sarah Simone and Julie Murphy. It's one of their holiday themed romances. It's called A Holly Jolly Ever After, I think. And the book centers on a heroine who has been in a committed and long-term relationship with someone who has been very controlling and very like putting a stigma on her because of certain views. So she's only been with one person in her life and she is very kind of sheltered when it comes to her sexuality. And when she breaks it off with this guy, she really wants to explore pleasure and explore herself. So this is quite on the spicier side and really is a lessons in seduction kind of situation. And throughout this series of books, we've got a production of Christmas, holiday, Hallmark movies, but kind of with more spice thrown into them. So we've got a heroine who is looking for someone who is going to teach her more about herself when it comes to that, and a hero who is going to be her partner when it comes to this movie that is going to get shot. So he is part of this ex-boy band, so he has had some fame in the past, but now he's trying to revamp his career, and he has always been seen as like the fun playboy kind of type, but he actually is craving to have a connection and a settled relationship with someone. So there's quite a bit of nuances to the story, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I would definitely pick it up around the holidays. Now, continuing on with books that are on the spicier side, this one is really, really spicy that I'm going to recommend right now. It's a new release by Kayla Gross and it's called Axes and O's, and it's actually also a holiday themed novella. I think it's on the shorter side, where we've got an MFM relationship. We've got a hero who is having the worst day at his job. He wants to travel to meet his sister, his family. His boss is being a total bitch. She doesn't want him to leave. So he's like, I've had enough. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to just drive to my sister's for the holidays. So he's really pissed off about what has happened. He's driving, he's not really focused, so he kind of crashes his car into this snowy snowbank thing. I don't know how to call it. And this is where the other hero and heroine come into the picture. They live in this cabin and they rescue him from the situation. They're actually a married couple and they are polygamous, so they are always on the lookout for someone who can join in on their activities, if you get my drift. So this one is more teach me your ways when it comes to the BDSM element of a sexual relationship, as well as being in a polygamous relationship. So this one is quite spicy, quite spicy, and it's also a very good time. It's just a fun, quick, spicy time. So if you're looking for this kind of a book around the holidays, this one is it for you. Now, the next two books I've mentioned quite a lot on my channel in the past 2 or 3 months. So I'm just going to gloss over them if you haven't added them to your TBR and you still need to look them up. The first one is Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. This one is a lessons in dating situation where the heroine is looking to have a date for her 30th birthday. She's going on these dates through an application, but none of them are really working out very well for her, and she always goes to the same spot on these dates where the bartender notices that she's having a tough time with the date, so he decides to help her out with her dating life. So this is where the teach me your way situation comes in. And then the second book is very similar in premise to this one, but after the 50% mark, it's quite different. This one is called The Quit List by Katie Bailey, where again the heroine is looking for a relationship. The dates are all going wrong. The bartender at the place where she always goes saves her out of a very bad situation on one of these dates, and then he tells her that he can help her out because he's quite the playboy. He has a lot of experience when it comes to dating, and he can definitely help her out when it comes to finding the one. So these two stories are quite alike, but then after the 50% mark, quite different. So you can definitely both check them out because they're quite fun. And with that, I'm wrapping up this video of Teach Me Your Ways, lessons in seduction, lessons in dating, kind of a trope recommendation video. Please let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, whether you enjoyed them, whether you enjoyed them as much as I did, and whether you have any other recommendations with this trope for me, because I'm always on the lookout for new books to add to my TBR. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also I hope to see you in the next one. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Happy reading. Take care. Bye-bye.